Alright, so it's November 3rd, and I don't know if you can kind of tell. It looks like rain. It started off as rain, but you can see it every now and again, the snow. So it is officially snowing in Tacoma, November 3rd. Kind of crazy. Okay, folks, so wanted to do a quick video. You know, it actually snowed here for the first time on Friday, because today is Sunday. So Friday, it snowed for the first time here in Tacoma. It was kind of early. Keep in mind that typically snow doesn't happen until like December. Usually up in Seattle is the only reference that we have. This snow did not stick by any means. It was just basically mostly rain, if you will. So it was mostly rain and a little bit of snow. Now, Noelle, for her job, as you know from the last video that was put out, or one of the videos that was put out, she travels for her job and she goes to different college campuses and things like that. And so it is something that she has to do. She was going to be going out of state, so she was going to visit some of the universities here in southern Washington, and then go down to Oregon and visit some of the colleges and universities there. And then she was going to come back on Wednesday. Now, originally her plan was to just go down, and she was probably going to take Zeta with her. There's quite a bit of flexibility that she has with this. And then she thought, well, hey, why not the whole family? So Zoe was going to be out of school for a little bit, but basically we were going to go on Friday afternoon once she got back from southern Washington. And then we were going to head out and we were going to pretty much go to all the places that she was going to go, some of which we've never been to. So that Friday, I took Zoe to school because we were debating, should we go to the rental car place, which is where she had to go first to actually she was going to rent a car and then, you know, do her thing, or do we just take her to school first? So I said we might as well just take Zoe to school first because obviously school is closer. We're going to be short on time if we don't, that type of thing. It's a good thing that we took her to school first. So we drop her off at school. We then head off to the rental car place. And as we get to the rental car place, I am, you know, there's no middle turn lane at all. So it's basically just a lane with cars parked onto the side, another lane going the other direction with cars parked on the side. So it's a bi-directional street. So I'm sitting there waiting to turn into the Enterprise parking lot. Now, keep in mind, one of the biggest things that I always had a fear of ever since I've been driving, and I've been driving for a very long time. I've been driving since I was 16. I'm 39 now. I've never, ever, ever, ever had an accident that I've been a part of. Now, I've been in accidents when I was younger, and someone else was driving, but I've never been in one personally. So, but one of my fears have always been to get hit from behind. And so as a result, every time I stop at a stoplight, stop sign, if I'm turning some direction, no matter if it's a turning lane or not, I always look behind me. Always. I just have that fear. And I remember in New Mexico, once it was at nighttime and I was, turning to actually go home. And it was one of these busy streets, and there was a long line of cars waiting to turn because it was at the end of rush hour. Just gotten off work. I had Noelle, of course, in the car. Zoe was in the car, and Zeta, or no, not Zeta, she wasn't born, but Zara was also in the car. Zara was very, very young. And so I was about to turn, and it was about ready to go. Well, here comes a car just zooming down the street super fast. And I see him coming. So I gassed it because the cars in front of me had started to move up a little bit. And I had given myself quite enough distance anyway from the car in front of me. So I see this car coming. So I hit the gas and you could hear him just screeching. His screech lasted for a long time. So I gassed it up and just hoped that he would not hit me. So I had to gas it up fast enough and then brake hard myself so I don't hit the car in front of me. So it worked out. I got out. He's like, "Did I hit you guys? I thought I did." And I said, "No, you didn't. You didn't hit us, but you came close, right?" Well, on Friday, wasn't so lucky. So I am right there to turn right into the rental car place, and it had been wet outside, as I told you, because it had been raining and a snow mix, and so the ground was wet. Well, I see a car coming pretty fast. I'm sitting there waiting for the other traffic to kind of clear so I can make the turn. And I'm thinking I should try to turn before this truck is coming, but I'm like, no, I'm going to wait, because I don't want to cause an accident myself. Could I have made it? Yeah, but it's not something that you should really risk. So I'm waiting, but I see this car coming up really, really fast. And as they get to probably 2 car lengths behind, I'm like, they're not slowing down. So I'm looking through my rear view the whole time. So I hit the gas. And as I hit the gas, I can hear them slamming on their brakes. And as I'm going forward, because keep in mind, I can't get enough traction because I'm at a dead stop. It's been wet. So I can't, I'm almost spinning. So I had to let up off the gas as I see this happening and press and accelerate gently so I can kind of get out of the way versus just sitting there spinning. So I'm able to do that, and I'm able to get what I thought is enough distance. The car was going way too fast, and even though she braked, probably a car length and a half behind, it was too late. She still, bam, hit us pretty hard from behind. So, of course, Noelle was like, "What happened?" Because she didn't see it. No one saw it. I saw it coming. And so in the car, I had Zeta and I had Zara, my 2 youngest, right? So I immediately look behind, and Zara is screaming like, "Ow," because, her head hurt and, she was crying. Now, of course, Zara really does. I mean, she can bump herself into a wall and she'll act like she got shot. I mean, that's the age that she is, right? So I wasn't sure how severe it was. Zeta wasn't making any noise. She was just acting like nothing happened. So I pulled over. Noelle seemed fine. So I pulled over and I was mad. I got out of the car. I stood in the middle of the roadway. And I said words I never say on YouTube. And I told them, "You need to pull over." And I didn't say it that kindly or gently or anything. I think some people think I'm a teddy bear. And I am, until you get me to the point of where I'm not. And that was one of those places where I was not somebody that you wanted to come across. So, especially when my family's involved. So, yeah, accidents do happen, but as a driver, you are responsible for all of your actions. And you should always prepare for the conditions. So, to me, you're an adult, you're behind that car, or you're behind the wheel of that car, you're responsible, you should make the proper decisions. And keep in mind, she had her own child in the car in the front seat. He was like, I would guess 10 to 12 years old. So you have all these lives at stake, plus she could have easily knocked us into oncoming traffic. And so that was my concern. I'd rather hit those parked cars to the side, which luckily, right where I was, there was a gap. So if I would have been knocked to the right, I would have missed those cars. I just definitely didn't want to get knocked into the left into oncoming traffic. So I was extremely angry. So she comes up and she pulls over, because had she not, I would have followed her down, took a picture of her license plate, and been calling the police. Now, to me, I didn't care if it was a car full of dudes. I didn't care if it was a car full of Tupac type dudes. I didn't care if it was a car full of business dudes, a car full of whoever. I didn't care who was in the car. At that point, it was me against whoever was in that car, And I'm like, you're pulling over. Now, if I was just in the car by myself and it happened, I'd been upset, obviously. I worked hard and paid for this car, got it brand new. It's been paid off for a bit. So, yeah, I would have been upset, but I wouldn't have been as angry because my kids are in the car. So they're both now crying. Both of my kids are crying. So, lady pulls over, and so I call. First, I get out and I videotape. I always carry something with me to record. So I videotape the car, and that's probably the reason why she didn't run. But I videotaped the license plate on the car, and I videotaped what the car looked like, obviously. So after I did that and took a couple of pictures while I was recording, I also called 911. Well, in Tacoma, basically the police don't come if there's an accident, right? You exchange information and then you go on about your day. So I guess because Tacoma police is so short-staffed, which hopefully they're trying to address, but that was the circumstance. Well, I asked her for her insurance, and she's like, I don't have insurance. So that made me even more angry. So then she's like, but I'm willing to work with you guys, whatever I can, I can definitely help you. It may take a little bit, but I'll help you out. Well, that doesn't work for me because I need for my car to be fixed. Yeah, it may be a statics, but I'm no mechanic. I don't know what else is wrong with the car, right? So I need my car to be fixed. I don't need to be on a payment plan with you or for you to figure it out. My thing is that everything comes with consequences. If you cannot afford insurance, you don't need to drive a car, period. The city has buses that run all over the city. You can, get a ride with someone, whatever the case may be. To me, having a car or a vehicle is a privilege. It's not a right. So by no means do I want to hear an excuse that I can't afford, insurance and, I have to work with you. No. Doesn't work that way. Unless you got enough money in your pocket to buy a whole new car for me, then I have nothing to say to you. So then, Noelle said, well, we need to see your ID because that's what when I called the dispatcher, that's what they said. I don't have my ID, but if you can follow me to my house, because she's like, I left my purse there. I'm thinking, I'm not following anyone to their home. That's crazy. Why would I go to your home? You could easily say, hey, I have some people back here, that I hit. I could be walking into an ambush. So I then pick up, I didn't say nothing. I called the, dispatch again. And I said, I know that you guys don't come out or send the police out whenever there's an accident. However, this person has no ID, no insurance, no nothing. And so the dispatch guy interrupted me and said, well, for that, we will definitely send a police officer out. So we waited a pretty good bit, 20 minutes. And the whole time I'm thinking, if she runs, then it's too late. I've already because the dispatcher said, go ahead and take pictures of her too. Why not? She has nothing on her. Go ahead, take pictures of everything. Take pictures of the license plate, car, her, all of that. So I did. I took video and pictures so that therefore there's no disputing. If a cop were to see it, there's no disputing, well, I got a side profile of the person, or I got a this or a that, and I can't really tell. You see the actual person, you see everything about them. So I then wait for the police. They come and I get immediately out of the car. It's a motorcycle cop. So I told them what happened. And so I sit in the car, wait, he's talking to her and everything, and he ends up getting all of her information because she tells him I don't have ID and I don't have insurance. So he comes up to us and he tells us, well, her license is suspended. So if your license is suspended, you have no ID at all. So if I would have said, okay, fine, let's just go to your house, there would have been no ID. And that would have been probably her excuse to run. So never, ever, A, go to someone's house. B, if someone doesn't have insurance and they hit you, then definitely make sure. If you're in a city or a place that does not send out police, you just have to exchange information. Be sure to always make sure that you get every bit of detail about that person. get their insurance information, take pictures of it, videotape and pictures of their license and their registration, all of that information, their address, their phone number, all of that's important to get. So at any rate, at the end of the day, my insurance is going to fix my car. So they're going to pretty much fix the car. We went and got an estimate done. It's well over, I think, $1,500 or something. We don't have to obviously pay that. I think we pay not much. But anyhow, they're going to fix everything on it, give us a rental car, that type of thing. Noelle called her boss and said, look, this happened. When it did happen, there was a guy that came out of his car and said, hey, I saw everything. He gave us his information on a card, business card. The rental car place ended up calling Noelle because they said, hey, you haven't picked up your car. And she's like, I was about to turn in and got into an accident. They're like, oh, that was you. We saw it. So they were also witnesses to what took place. And so anyhow, they said, if you need anything, need any witnesses, let us know. So anyhow, we had a very eventful Friday. It was very crazy. So the great thing is no one was actually hurt. I mean, we had a couple of bruises and pains. I mean, still in my arm. Today's Sunday. It's a little sore here because obviously I was trying to, brace, and then the hit, I didn't want to go have a huge head. And, knocking it off center would easily make me crack my head on the steering wheel. I didn't want that. And my ankle was hurting a little bit too, I think because I was just literally trying to gas it to get out of the way. Back was hurting, Noelle's back was hurting, her head was hurting, she was a little dizzy. Zarbine's head, she hit it obviously as that impact took place. And so she just kept talking obviously about the wreck after it happened. Zeta seemed to be fine. We didn't go to the hospital or doctors or anything like that. Didn't seem that serious. We definitely made sure that everything was good with both of the kids, 24 hours after it happened, to make sure that if there was something, we would take them because that would have been covered by insurance too. So anyhow, to make a long story short, if you don't have the ability to have insurance, don't get behind the wheel. And for two, if your license is suspended, you don't need to even be in a car at all. So anyhow, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys had a less crazy Friday than what we actually had, and less eventful as well. But anyhow, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and until next time, I will see you. Take care.